If you have a home or field service business and are looking for ways to consistently grow without spending thousands of dollars in Google Ads, then this video is for you. Whether you're just starting out or trying to plan how to get to 100K, 500K, or a million in revenue and beyond, in the competitive landscape of home and field services, your reputation can make or break your business. It doesn't matter if you're in HVAC, plumbing, landscaping, cleaning, or any other trade, any service business relies on one basic thing to consistently win new clients: a trustworthy reputation. So in this video, let's look at the fundamentals of successful service businesses and cover the 10 main tips that any service business needs that you can implement absolutely free or automate and scale if you're already doing some of these so you can accelerate your growth even further. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe and I'm a technology and business strategist specialized in home, field, and B2B service businesses. If you need any help finding, implementing, or operating the right service business software for your trades or service business, you'll find free resources as well as my consulting services on my website, www.rehash.tech. I'm also super excited to announce that we're in the final stages of editing our Ultimate Growth Playbook for home and field services, which is now about 45 pages long that I've been working on for almost a year, where we share everything from lead generation, pricing models, getting better customers, and so much more. We should have the waitlist link in the description below, and we're offering it absolutely free for all of 2024 to get some of your initial feedback on it. So check it out if you're interested, and we absolutely appreciate your support. And with that, let's dive into the 10 tips of how you can grow your service business with the magic of reputation management. The first and probably most fundamental tip is also often the most overlooked once your business starts to grow. Satisfied customers are your best ambassador, so the first tip is to consistently encourage them to leave reviews on platforms like Google My Business, Yelp, or industry-specific directories like Thumbtack or similar. Of course, you can do this manually after every job. Verbal requests are usually the least effective since they'll forget, but I've actually implemented QR codes or NFC cards that look super professional that your customer just scans or taps with their phone and it brings them directly to your review page. You can actually make these absolutely free. If you haven't used it yet, there's a specific link in Google My Business that you use to do this instead of asking them to manually go to your website or GMB profile. This link will take them directly to a review request screen, making sure that it's absolutely frictionless for your customer to leave you a glowing review. Alternatively, you can use the same link and even put it in your digital invoice, although this is less effective since it gets buried with all the other information that's on your invoices. So the best way after the fact is to send them an email thanking them for their business, asking for feedback, and then asking for a review if they're a happy client. Now, if you're just starting out, you can definitely do this manually and completely free. But as you scale, consider both how valuable these reviews are for your business, but also how time-consuming it can be to do consistently. So once you have a decent volume of jobs, implementing a reviews management tool like NiceJob to fully automate the process and incentivize customers for their feedback goes a really long way. Not to mention integrating directly with business management solutions like Housecall Pro or Jobber, or of course you can use the ones that are built into all-in-one solutions like Thrive. Now for our second point, asking for reviews is just the first step. Whether it's praise or criticism, responding to reviews promptly shows that you value customer feedback. As always, if you don't have very many yet, you can do this manually and even use AI-powered response tools to manage reviews efficiently, addressing any concerns or issues raised by your customers. Turning a negative review into a positive experience can actually go further into strengthening your reputation and brand. You can easily use free solutions like ChatGPT 3.5 to make sure you have the right language and tone in your responses. Same thing, as you scale, you can then start looking at solutions to automate it like the ones I mentioned in the first point, and I'll put links for any discounts or trials for these systems I find in the description below. Now, I'm actually thinking about making a guide on how home and field service businesses can use things like ChatGPT or other AI tools in all parts of business. So if you think that might be valuable, let us know in the comments below and give us some ideas on what kind of things you think you can do with AI or what you want it to do for your business. Now, moving on to our third tip. It's actually dual purpose, something I also mentioned in my local marketing video a few weeks ago. Demonstrating your commitment to the community by attending or even sponsoring local events or participating in community service projects has so many benefits for localized service businesses. I won't go too deep into that into this video here since I covered that in the other video, but it will impact everything from your brand, your lead generation, and even how your website is seen by Google. The key to making the most of these events, though, especially if you go as far as sponsorships or donations, is to highlight your involvement. Don't be shy, just do it in a tasteful way on your website and social media platforms simultaneously to showcase your business's dedication to making a difference to your local community and the residents. This not only improves your local brand reputation and has a small chance of getting new leads, but also supports your localized SEO strategies when you post those pictures and stories into your website, blog, and social media profiles. Which brings us to tip number 4. When you do post anything, from your website to your review responses, remember, transparency breeds trust. Business owners usually don't have the luxury of hiring a public relations executive for their business, but here's your PR 101 that I've learned from the top communications and marketing leaders in the field. Be upfront about your pricing, your services, and your policies to set clear expectations for your customers. Unmet expectations and lack of transparency have the highest potential to drive negative reviews and pissed off customers. On the flip side, transparency naturally fosters goodwill and minimizes any misunderstandings, which leads to higher customer satisfaction and even loyalty, even if problems happen. You've probably seen a lot of horror stories of restaurants and other businesses going viral for completely wrong reasons and getting canceled or spammed with 1-star reviews. But on the complete opposite side, you've also probably heard of the landscaping guy SB Mowing on social media, who has now, I believe, it's 2 million followers on YouTube and 10 million on Facebook, just by being transparent and promoting good content. So before you post, always double check your tone through another person, especially if you're acting based on emotion. Or better yet, get ChatGPT to help you out since you as a business owner are the most important mouthpiece in your business. Now, all of this said, most important mouthpiece doesn't mean you're the only one. At the end of the day, your employees are the face of your business to your actual clients, which brings us to tip number 5. Investing in regular training and coaching sessions to equip them with the skills to deliver exceptional service can definitely help boost your business and future sales, even if it's not sales training. Even just training or reminding them to be polite and courteous goes a long way to promote organic word-of-mouth referrals. But of course, there's always room for training around ethically upselling and consciously asking for referrals, like our first tip. Now, one key aspect of this is that empowering your team to handle customer inquiries and resolve issues professionally themselves is also an amazing and key management practice I've seen great service business leaders use, and lets them create referral-worthy experiences without having to ask for a manager to help de-escalate issues before they blow up. Now, of course, this requires a lot of trust between you and your crew, but if you get there, this not only helps with talent retention, but even helps you hire new crew. Now, if you have a service team or dispatch that makes or receives calls from prospects, solutions like AirCall or OpenPhone are what I typically recommend to my clients because they provide a way to do consistent QA by recording and transcribing your calls automatically and giving you a coaching opportunity to improve your team consistently, all without having to spend time actually listening to them on the phone in real time. Now, as you implement all of these points, you're racking up what I call reputation capital. So, just like your financial capital, make sure you put it to work for you, which is tip number 6. First of all, make it easy for potential customers to find you online by optimizing your digital presence, leading with your impacts, your differentiators, and testimonials. And then implement an SEO strategy, specifically local SEO, to improve your visibility in local high-content search results. Now, make sure you don't forget the basics that Google needs to verify and validate something called your domain reputation by leveraging listing services, home service directories, and review sites to expand your online reach, while also making sure they all have the same information and details as listed in your Google My Business profile. This is why I'm a fan and got certified in platforms like Thrive, since it makes it super easy for my clients to do this and virtually everything they need across the business in a single system. Thrive's platform is built knowing the importance of this and actually has a built-in listing service aggregator in order to make sure their clients get the best domain ranking possible, which also increases your organic search rankings on Google. Now, all that said, your website is no longer your only source of an online presence, which brings us to tip number 7. Don't forget to engage with your audience on social media platforms to build relationships and stay top of mind, which also serves as social proof when a client sees that you're a real business, have real employees, and also get a feel for your business brand or personality, which to some is an important buying criteria to feel comfortable with new companies that they work with. Now, all of this alongside a portfolio of the high quality work you've done in the past goes a really long way. You may not get to SB mowing level notoriety, but even 5 to 10 social posts in each platform at the bare minimum goes a really long way to support your brand. The basics are sharing updates about your services, some promotions that you might be running, and the community involvement that we mentioned before to keep customers informed and engaged. Now, first, figure out which channels your ideal customer profile or avatar uses the most and start posting based on which channels your customers are or avatars are on. If you want a starting point or even a refresher on exactly how service businesses can get the most out of social media, I have a social media 101 guide specific for home and field service businesses that goes through 4 basic steps on how to create a social media strategy from scratch and figure out the right kind of content for every channel. You can find that at the bottom of the page on my website, linked in the description below. Now, like with any business process, you can do this purely manually. But the trick to social media management, like I mentioned in the guide, and anything in business really, is consistency. If you want your posts to be both seen and engaged with, using a social media management tool like SocialBee or integrated solutions, again in platforms like Thrive, can make sure you have the tools to both automate the posts as well as respond and convert engaged audiences into paid jobs consistently. The last thing you want is winning over a client on social media asking for your contact details to book a job, and you don't see the post until weeks later when they've already gone with another company. Something that I unfortunately see too often with manually managed social media accounts. Of course, reputation is nothing without being able to actually do the work you're being paid for well. And marketing and PR will only take you so far. Which is a perfect segue that if you like the tips I'm showing so far, it would help immensely if you share this with other service business owners you think it can help, as well as like and subscribe down here to help us create more of this type of content, and your support is greatly appreciated. So it's probably no surprise that consistently delivering high quality service is our 8th tip, and is of course still necessary and frankly a prerequisite for everything we're talking about in this video. Exceeding customer expectations at every opportunity is the only way to actually earn glowing reviews and referrals. An important note here is that your techs and crew are just as important as your admin and front desks when it comes to being enabled to deliver amazing experiences, like I mentioned in the previous tip about enablement and communication. Make sure to ask your clients for feedback on how they feel the customer service or experience is specifically, in addition to the quality of work they completed. Any of the solutions we mentioned so far can automate a feedback process like this, so you just have to make sure you ask the right questions. Not to mention equipping them with the right tools so that they can in turn provide the best service to the client, like the mobile apps that Housecall Pro, Jobber, Thrive, or ServiceTitan all build into their platforms, will ultimately empower your crew to do everything your customers expect right there on the field, while saving them and your business a ton of time. Now, if you're not familiar with these platforms yet, I'll link a software review video covering all 4 at the end of this video. Now, our 9th tip is to make sure that you're asking for feedback that actually works in your favor instead of against you. Let me explain. As mentioned, encouraging customers to provide feedback consistently will demonstrate your commitment to continuous improvement. That said, this can easily turn around and work against you if you don't actually respond, or more importantly, act on valid feedback. Make sure you implement relevant and valid suggestions from your customers to enhance your services and address any issues proactively. This will reduce the likelihood, of course, of negative reviews. Now, if you do face negative reviews, treat it like the most important problem in the world and turn a problem client into an advocate instead. Doing this in a public forum, like Google Reviews, maybe with ChatGPT to help you out with the language and the tone, can go so far to actually help increase your brand equity, as long as you don't sound like you're providing some sort of canned or tone-deaf response. The book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is an absolutely and timeless, amazing read that comes highly recommended by virtually every business leader I've met, and it helps get into the frame of mind and the right mindset of how to deal with problem clients and turn initially bad situations into your favor. Lastly, regardless if you're a startup business or a rapidly scaling one, having a stellar reputation doesn't mean as much unless you make it incredibly easy for your happy customers to refer you to other people that are already likely to be able to use your service. The absolute pinnacle of social proof is word of mouth referrals, which is usually how many service businesses actually get started. But as these same businesses scale, I've noticed business owners sometimes lose sight of how valuable simply asking for referrals can be, especially in comparison to paid advertising. Not only is this free, but it actually results in the highest conversion rates across any of your acquisition channels. While you can do this manually when you're starting out, like a simple conversation, email, or text message at the end of the job typically does the trick, as you scale, luckily there's solutions like Nice Job that you can use for both reviews and tip number one, as well as actually incentivizing referrals that completely automates, tracks, and stays consistent on probably the single most important process that'll get you the highest converting leads. I'll find and link their latest discount code and free trial in the description below. So hopefully this video has given you some more tips and advice that you can implement or improve your service business. Again, if you found this video helpful, a like and subscribe would be absolutely appreciated. Otherwise, if you're considering a project to get new technology for your business and you're clearing over $5,000 a month in revenue, I offer my expertise for free for 15 minutes to help you assess your business and available solutions that can help you out. And of course, I have both free resources and paid services on my website, www.rehash.tech. Otherwise, my name is Joe, and thank you so much for watching. If you're looking to change or implement to a new business management platform, check out this video over here. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next one.